Alright, let's have some fun and make a lot of happy mistakes. Get your circle tool and use your pencil to make a circle. Now cut this circle in half using a ruler. It doesn't have to be perfect, just something approximate. And I'm gonna cut the top part again into another half. This is my basic grid to start working. Now I'm gonna make some lines using a blue pen. Remember to keep your dots as thin as possible and as close to each other as possible on this line. As you go towards the edge of the circle, make a few fatter dots and well spaced out. And as you go closer towards the horizon, make sure your dots are thinner. And if you keep this rule in mind, for the next few minutes, you can just play. My objective isn't to get you to join an art school or become an artist. I just want you to enjoy this flow state that I've enjoyed for over a decade. For me, making art or creating something before I sleep is like brushing my teeth before I sleep. But for the mind, all of my stresses, worries, distractions, they all get purged out of my head before I get to bed, simply by making art. I understand dots and I started my journey through dots. That's why I'm sharing this with you. But hopefully, by just sitting for a few minutes and painting with me, you get inspired to find your own journey. Maybe you want to try crocheting or making doodles or some different art forms with water paints. I strongly encourage you to try a lot of things and keep the same rules, like have fun and make a lot of mistakes. So as I go towards the edge, I keep my dots spaced out. It's okay if there are some smaller dots there, but the main rule here is around the horizon, that is the center of the circle, there have to be very thin dots. This video has been sped up, but I strongly recommend you to take your own sweet time for it. Unlike most things in life, you don't have to be first or fast or on time here. Take your own sweet time and enjoy the process. The process is exactly what we're going for. I mean, you could also just prompt this on AI and it could make you something like this, but it might not give you the sense of calm. Here towards the edge, I'm using dark green pens just for a bit of highlights, not too much. And then the empty spots, I'm filling them with the same pens. Now I'm going to move on to the sky. That's the other half. Start with a red line, again on the horizon, and the same rule. The thinner dots, the smaller dots go towards the center, and as we move up, the dots get a bit fatter. And this creates like a basic grid for me, so I just have to place dots within it, but keeping this one simple rule in mind. At the moment, I don't want to explain exactly what the image is going to turn out, but I just need you to trust me and go with it. Again, in a single line, your dots don't have to be perfect. Just have fun while you're doing it. And now I'm going to use magenta as I'm going towards the upper edge of the circle. Same principle, smaller dots at first and then slightly fatter dots. Feel free to merge these lines. A line could be made of 2 dots, 3 dots, 10 dots, doesn't matter. And now I'm going to use a bit of purple. Fatter dots towards the edge and then thinner dots as I go down. Same principle. Be slow and enjoy the flow. You've probably been painting for about 10 to 15 minutes now, and I wanted to share something amazing with you. Some of the greatest ideas in the world were possible because someone sat down with their thoughts and held a pen, not because they were scrolling. But somehow I never liked writing about my day to a diary like a monologue. And I guess if you're like me, maybe doodling or making dots or just making something artistic with your hands could be incredibly peaceful and useful. Most of my work life has been extremely stressful. I worked in IT, and after I came back from work, painting with dots helped me relax and reclaim my focus. I feel painting with dots or any form of art practice is an incredibly powerful tool to break many habits like screen addiction or just like regularly chasing dopamines. Somehow, a pen and a paper and going into that flow state is like low stakes dopamine that's not hurting your mental health. In fact, I feel creativity is a muscle, and practicing art really helps you get creative in all other aspects of life. Again, you don't have to be good at it, you just have to practice it. Like, allow yourself to make a few mistakes. Alright, now I'm gonna add a tiny sun using yellow. Just half a sun. It's a sunset. And now I'm gonna add some white dots just to make stars. These are the only dots that won't be in a straight line. They'll be slightly fatter. And again, take your own sweet time for this. This video has been sped up, so I need you to remember that. And there you go. Now you have a basic sunset with lines. I hope you enjoyed today's session and it made you feel good.